All right, so now let's start working on our presentation. So this is what we actually are going to want to show our client. We want to show them that we really thought this thing through. We want to give them all these options, but we want to present it in a way that kind of tells a story, that kind of breaks things down. It doesn't have to be like when I say story, I use that term pretty loosely in this kind of scenario. I guess it's more of just the way that the work is unfolding for them, because we're going to create like a long PDF. And so this PDF, as they scroll, they'll get more and more information. It's going to, dissect the logo more and more and more. So what I did is went to Unsplash. I have that in our resources links as well in the PDF. Grab this really cool image, and I'm grabbing some images that I feel like are going to reflect the brand, kind of, that's going to help really show them the aesthetic that we're really trying to go for it. And photography is a great way to do that, and doing these little effects like adding opacity to the image itself to allow that color to come through. It gives a whole other level of sophistication to the design. So like that, how that's looking. So now we have our primary logo. So now let's do our secondary and our tertiary logo. Let's go in here. Let's grab this. Oops, here we go. I think I'm going to make this the same color because I really like that. I really want to lead with that. I like the other blue too. I think it's cool. But I really want to lead with this more of a slate color. So now we're going to separate this section. I'm just creating a nice little grid here to organize our designs. So we have our secondary. Let's give it a gray. That looks cool. I'll just align this. So now this is our stacked logo. I'm sorry, our stamped logo. So let's rename that. All right, so now let's create a mood board. So what I like to do is create a little photo grid kind of box setup. Just do a variety of squares here. And maybe we can do something kind of, put a little stroke on these. Because the one way you can do it is doing like these cool kind of like stacked effects with your photos. But let's just keep it pretty simple. And because we are going with this more of a luxurious kind of feel and this kind of timeless, it makes sense to stick with a grid that's pretty even. So these decisions, you're designing your presentation in reflecting the brand. It's like the presentation itself is going to help enhance how it looks. Because I could have done circles, but circles don't really feel like it works with this style of branding. It feels it needs to be structured. This is the foundation of those other two companies, so we really want to carry that through, even the decisions of how we showcase our work. So here's some, let's just use this image here. I used in the header. So I go on Unsplash, right? I talked about that for the top header. Unsplash is awesome. and they're always updating it if you're not too familiar with them. A lot of designers use it, so you might be already using it, but I just like to give it a shout out, give it a mention for those who haven't really utilized its full advantages, because it's got so many great photos. They're all high res, and yeah, it's all free. It's great. It's a really great site. So now let's find another color to represent that blue. So let's keep looking. I'm really just searching by color. I like that. That really matches that slate color. So let's just add that here. Shrink it down. Okay, then I'm going to bring that to the back. Shrink, and then the Command 7, cropped it. All right, let's find something else. And some designers like to create the mood board first, right? And that's cool too, And I do it both ways. I might not feel super excited about what I'm doing, so maybe I'll switch to the mood board. But this process has unfolded pretty nicely, so I just kind of allowed that process to unfold the way it needed to, and then I deconstruct it. Then like, oh, what's more of the tone does this look like? What can we do to communicate to the client, how this aesthetic could work? Because they talked, they mentioned in the brief, bring in some woods. This wood is definitely more of a rustic wood than the wood that I think they had in their concept design. So this is more of like has that authentic kind of look to it, that weathered look, which goes really well with the logo itself, because it has that established kind of, established 2019 kind of design. So it's all enhancing each other. It's all supporting these different aspects of the logo, supporting itself. So now let's just find another another photo. That's kind of cool, but it's a little too dirty. So not really seeing anything that's sticking out. Let's try something else. Something that's luxurious, that's communicating our look and feel. That car is kind of cool. That's a cool blue. Let's see how that looks. And it's definitely more of a lighter blue. But I like how the blue and the grays and the blacks all work together. So let's just use this for now. And what we're really doing too is we're wanting to establish kind of a tone. So not only just color, but just overall feeling and aesthetic. So now let's try to find something for this last photo. Something with gold. We want to show off that gold. There's a Bentley. That's cool. Bentley. The golds may not be exactly the same thing, but let's see what else we can find. Let's just try it. Let's see how it looks. Let's bring it to the back. Command 7. Is that working? Command, bring it to the back. Select that and the square. Command 7. All right, there we go. Double click. Let's move it around here. Yeah, it's a cool image, but I'm not sure if it's the right one. Let's just align all this stuff first. Yeah, that gold. It doesn't feel right. Well, let's keep going. We might need to revisit that. So let's go into colors. There we go. Color palette. All right, so I always like to give them kind of cool names. You know, we have that dark slate color. Let me just put these over here first. Yeah, this is like an Oxford blue. An ivory white. And this is like a burnt sienna. Just thinking. Yeah, let's just go with it. Okay, so now we have these. Let's give it some hexes. So let's grab this color. Let's get the color code here. I'm just going to copy and whoops. Copy and just paste that code right. Nope, not that code. Let's try it again. Command C, Command V. There we go. That's what we wanted. Get that code there. So, you know, when I'm doing a full-on brand guide, I'll go a lot deeper with these colors. But for this sake, I'm just doing hex colors. You know, because what I'll do in the brand guide, whenever they're sold on this, are projects, you know, and also they're not asking for a brand guide here. They're just really asking for a logo. So for when I am working on brand guides, I show the hex color, the RGB, and the CMYK. And then I also, you know, give them all the different formats, and I save all those formats for them as well. So now let's get this gold, this copper gold here. Let's call it that. And let's just grab these colors here. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking down each color in the gradient to show which solid colors are creating this gradient here. Yeah, let's just make that color. Let's do one last one. There we go. Get over here. There. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We get closer. Let's do this too. Let's bring those logos on top of those colors. So I don't ever design a presentation the same way twice when I'm doing these brand boards. So that's why I'm making decisions based off the design itself. So I may have not do everything that I'm doing here for another logo, or I might do more. So the presentation is being inspired by the look and feel. This process is pretty, standard for me. I do always show the different variations, but if I maybe would have done textures or find other elements or even icons and things like that, I would add to it. But for a logo, this is pretty much how I do it in this order. And sometimes, I'll switch it up, but like I said, I let the creative and the look and feel inspire how the presentation needs to, present itself. Okay, so now we're working on our typography. So I'm just typing out the alphabet here. Super exciting. And I never try to use hard blacks when I'm working with logos. I just find black tends to flatten things out, where the gray and doing other tones like that kind of gives more of a life. I feel like that black kind of sucks the life out. Black can definitely be used if used very well, can look really great. And don't get me wrong. But I don't use it. That's just my style. Everyone has their style, the way of doing things, and that's just kind of how I do things. I really use black if I want something. If part of the brief or the design I'm going for, it talks about being bold and in your face, because then black is a great color, because any color you add with black is just going to look super dynamic. So it definitely pops, but it also it can, like I said, color has to be used the right way, because black can make things super flat, but if you know how to use it right, it can make it look super dynamic. So let's go ahead and change the font here. So what's great about doing a presentation like this too, as I'm sitting here, is what you're trying to do is you're trying to give them every reason to say yes to this design. And if you really want to sell it to someone, you can't just rely on a single image to really get them on board. And that's why I love doing presentations, because it really lets them see your process, the way you think, the extent of the design, how far it can be pushed. And it just gives them an overall view of the potential. And that's what the photography is there for too, because that could inspire some photo shoots, right? If they have other things that they need to create, and they need some stock footage, now we know what kind of aesthetic to go for. So this feels really good. I'm really happy with everything. This presentation, sometimes what I'll do too is I'll mock up business cards and things like that, but I don't think I really need to do that for this project. I think this will definitely suffice. So let me just save my project here. The old save game takes forever, especially when you're screen recording. So if you guys plan to do screen recording, just know that. There it goes. All right. Just giving one last look. So I think I'm going to try to find another image, because I'm not sold on this Bentley. Copper gold. I should just type that in to begin with. This is definitely where we need to be. Let's just see which image is the right image. think that's pretty cool. And it's not necessarily copper gold, but it definitely has the gradients in there, and it has all the different values that totally matches. Yeah, that feels a lot better to me. Now let's just adjust this artboard here. And that's it. So now I'm just going to save this as a PDF. I'm going to put it on Dropbox and then send my client the link, and they can view it right then and there. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you enjoyed this training with me. And feel free to reach out if you are interested in doing a free consultation with me. I'd love to tell you all the things I can do to help you grow your business, help you shift your mindset and create goals and really elevate your creativity. But thanks again for watching. Talk to you all soon, and make sure to join my Facebook community. All right, for real this time. Talk to you later. Bye.